Well, we're back again with yet another HTML video.
I'm ready.
In this episode, we're going to talk about image map. Make sure to stick to the video till end and let's get right into it. So let's start with explaining what image map actually is. Sometimes you need to have several links and the different parts of an image you have in your site. For example, you have a map of US and you want each state to have its own link which will give a summary of that state. That's where you should use image map. Alright, let's go to VS Code. Make sure you do all the necessary actions before coding. I said we're talking about image map, so we definitely need an image for sure. You can choose whatever random image you like, because right now it's only for learning. I'm gonna use this, for example, and don't ask me why. These are all should be normal for you in this channel, anyway. And do not forget to save the image in your HTML folder. I would need a file too here for coding. Let's say imagemap.html, and to change the title like usual. Alright, the first thing we need to do is to bring the image in our site. And you know how to do so. We had a tag called img that is also had an attribute named src, which if you write a slash in it, you can easily upload the image. Let's use Livesaver to see our picture. There it is. But sometimes the size of the uploaded image does not actually meet your expectations. But you can simply change that with different attributes like width, length, and all the related attributes. I want to change the width of this image, so I should use the related attribute for it. As you can see, the size changes with different numbers. Alright, now I want to do something that whenever I click on a specific part of this image, it takes me to a page I designed for it. We do need another tag which is called map. You must write all the related codes in the body of this tag. In this code, each map can have several areas. These areas are the different parts of an image we need to give links to. For instance, this part can be an area. This part can also be defined as an area. It goes on to how many areas you possibly need. But how to make these areas? Stay with me. Stay with me. I don't know the lyrics. In the body of this tag, we need another tag called area, which I just said what it's used for. This tag has some important attributes, which the first one is shape. It has a few options as you can see: circle, default, poly, and rect, which is rectangle, the short version of rectangle. I'll choose the last one for now. Another attribute is href, which is actually the link of the page that it's going to take us to, and chord, which does the magic here. This attribute is actually the coordinates of the exact place in the image we want to give links to. And the way you give these codes is very simple. You need a start x and y and an end xy location. I'm going to use Paint to find the locations because why not? It's easy. So let's open the image in Paint. I will paint a rectangle here. The start codes are exactly at this place, which you can see at the bottom left. And the end point is here. I just need to write these two coordinates in the attribute I talked about. Our start point is this and the end is this one. Now if I save it, will these coordinates be considered as an area? As you can see, no, it doesn't. But why? Because we didn't even relate this picture to this map tag, and we expect it to find a location. So right now, we need to create a relation between these two. I need one attribute for each tag in order to do so. The first one is for map, which is called name. You can give it whatever name you want. And for my image tag, I need an attribute which is use map. I should write the exact name I chose for map in here. But you always need to write sharp before the actual name. Don't forget this, it's very important. Now if you check the output, you can see that the exact place is considered as an area. Let's give it a link just to test how it works. Pay attention to the bottom left. I can see the address, and as soon as I hover my mouse out of the area, the address disappears. Alright, you learned the rectangular shape, but let's see how the other shapes might work. You don't need to change anything else besides these attributes. Everything is already ready to go. So copy this code and you should only change these attributes. Let's check circle this time. Change the address and delete the coordinates. They have no use here anymore. In rectangular way, we need two different coordinates, an XY for a start and another for the endpoint. But in circular way, you only need XY and R, which is the radius of the circle. Let's go back to Paint and make a circle. The X and Y is just the center of the circle, so write it down. And for the radius, you need to do a little math, or you can just give it a random radius and keep changing it until you reach your goal. I write this for radius just to test. And as you may see, it creates a circular area that whenever I hover my mouse on it, the code appears on the bottom left. You now have two areas with different links in one picture. Let's test polys this time. A triangle, for example. Go back to your codes and copy the exact code again. You need to change attributes yet again. This time choose poly and change the address. The coordinates are written like this. You need the X and Y coordinates of every point that your shape has. I chose triangle for this, which has 3 points. So typically I need 3 different X and Y's. You don't always have to use Paint. This was just for testing and making things easier to understand. You can just guess the numbers and keep changing them until you reach wherever you want. Let me find the coordinates. Alright. And if you check the output, you see this triangular area, which is yet another link. 3 areas in one picture. Okay, this subject is finished now, but your work isn't. I want to give you some homeworks, something to practice on. What you need to do is download a picture of your country's map, wherever you live, and make areas with links for every state or city that when you click on them, it takes you to a site giving a summary about that city or state. You can also send it for us in Discord if you wish. Thank you all for watching this episode. I hope what you learned would be useful for you. Make sure to like, and as always, make that subscribe button happy. And I'll see you again in another video. Bye bye.